Oh, yeah. Hey, hold up. They the boys. Question mark? Hold up. They the boys. Question mark? Hold up. They the boys. Question mark?
Yeah.
Hold up. No, they're not them boys.
Episode 247 of the JB and Benny Blue Review podcast.
Hey, it's JB in the place to be seen, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. But pause. And look, man, you are watching Livestream, the JB and Benny Blue episode 247. Man, look, this is going to be a wild one, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, as you saw when we first came on, there was literally live footage of Cowboy fans wilding after the game. When Buddy dumped the clip on that thing, bro, I thought the truck was wild. When Buddy let that clip go, that's crazy, bro. Like,
he pulled on that deuce and let it off.
One thing it ain't never been. Screen. Right, yeah, you know what I'm saying, the Roku TV. One thing it ain't never been, folks, is that serious, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a shout out to my girl Kelsey, you know what I'm saying? I saw that on her page, on the reel on her page. Like, that's one thing it ain't never been, is that serious. Episode 247 of JB and Benny Review. You are watching it right now as we speak, or you might be listening to it, you know what I'm saying? But we here. Again, we are here. Follow us on all social media platforms at JB and Benny Blue. All right, of course, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, of course, or YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Check us out, man. 5 stars, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. Our personal emails, personal IGs, all right, at 73KJB73. And of course, at Benny Blue Eyes, like it's always, man. All right. You better know that if you're in the Valley, the Valley, the Super Bowl hosting Valley, time is drawing nigh. And it is getting crazy out here in the Valley. You know what I'm saying? Things are transforming. We are getting ready for people. They're beeping up the police. It's going crazy out here in the Valley. But if you want to hear our podcast out here in the Valley, check out our folks at casualsports.com, right? Live streaming right here in the Valley of the Sun all the damn time, right? If you want to continue to hear our melodious voices as you hear right now, all right? Some of you are seeing us right now. You got $1, right? You got 4 quarters, right? You got 10 dimes. You got 100 pennies. You got 20 nickels, all right? Patreon.com/JB and Benny Blue will get you just that, all right? That's $1 fucking dollar, all right? You know you love us, man. Show us love, all right? Hate mail, love mail, sponsorships, interviews, new music, it don't matter. JB and Benny Blue Review at gmail.com will get you access, right? You better believe we do check this. As the season of football ends, we start to do more things like live reviews, so on and so forth, you know what I'm saying? And we start fishing for guests, right? So we want to talk to people that got it going on, man. We're really going to extend that olive branch. Me and Benny kind of talked about it, so we can up our content and interact with our fans a lot more. We're going to literally extend that olive branch for people who are out there doing dope shit to come on our podcast and pop off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's got to be cool. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be fresh. Of course, our people from So Effing Dope going to slide back through. You know what I'm saying? We got some cats. We got some double back going on. So we got some people that was on our podcast years ago that are doing phenomenal.
Spin the block, goddammit.
We can't wait to get it back on here. Okay.
Yes.
Clothes, you love them. Pearl, you love it. BatterBoysAssociation.com. We'll get you the good shit. You know what I'm saying? These young boys is working out here in the Valley, man. Use promo code podcast22 all caps to get 20% off your order at checkout, man. Again, shout out to Zach and Cody. We need that new order, man.
Where you at? Sweet life.
Cody can't do about the wrong clothes, wrong sizes, so he had to pull that back.
He brought them mediums.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, we lean and mean out here, but we ain't that goddamn lean. We still big in these streets, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you want to do good, man? Our guy Tim at stimdevice.com got you covered. New pre-owned, it don't matter. Text review in all caps to 515-444-7003. Follow our guy at Tim. It's Tim to buy on Instagram, right? You see people holding the strap. That means they got a new whip. That means they're happy, right? We love it, man. Episode 247, JB Review. Here we go. We're here. Lot to talk about. Benny, what's going on in La La Land, brother?
Hey, man, it's not raining, but the grass is green, baby. The grass is green. The full leaves is green. It's a little chilly in the air. You know what that means? It's playoff football weather championship weekend. We're going to recap our divisional round. Last week, they just dropped. I know you got to get to that with the Rookie of the Year, Player of the Year, Offense, Defense, MVP, Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, the whole shit. Our picks for AFC and NFC championship weekend and a whole lot of Mo and Dr. Bridges. We'd be remiss if we didn't bring our guy, our fucking utility player, joining us from parts unknown, the man, the myth, the legend himself. It is money making Mitchell a huge. How we doing, sir?
Hey, I am alive. And then you guys talking about it's chilly in the air. You're in California and you're in the better part of Arizona. It's been snowstorm central up here. It's been like 10 degrees. I don't want to hear it. I don't think the fans want to hear it.
Mitch, where the fuck are you?
None of your business.
Right, you chose that hell, Mitch.
Parts unknown.
Hey, you're right. Parts of we at least have it narrowed down to the north half of Arizona, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's about a lot of barren land up there. So I don't think nobody's gonna come looking for you. Land. You know, I don't think nobody's gonna come looking for you.
Oh my God! Well, Mitch, you have access to technology, so you can clearly keep up what's happening around here with the league. So we need to get into it right now with some headlines of what's happening around the league with a little review reaction news, baby. As I pull up our handy dandy graphic, wherever it is, bam, there it is. You get the review reaction news, people. Let's get into it now. Coaching news happening. We know this. Sean Payton is apparently Dan Quinn is apparently coming in for his second interview with the BG, and of course they're talking to. I think they've already interviewed Brian Flores and they've already interviewed Frank Reich, among other people. So, Dr. Bridges, just starting with you, being our man in the desert, where do you stand with the Cardinals' coaching search? And at this point, what do you think is going to happen? And if you were in the room talking to Sean Payton tomorrow, because the interview's tomorrow, what would you do to try to lure him away from Fox at this point, good sir?
Well, here's the thing about Sean Payton. Again, we talked about it. You know what I'm saying? We hired a new GM. I felt like at that point, that kind of negated him from being our guy, right? Because we know he's going to want more control of the executive side of football, right? And we hired our guy. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be an aggressive GM. I got faith in him. So I'm kind of putting Sean Payton on the shelf at this point, right? Dan Quinn, Frank Reich, Flores, I'm cool with either one of them, to be completely honest with you, right? I love Dan Quinn for the defensive aspect and the discipline aspect because I know he's going to bring that. I love Frank Reich because of little man, right? Little man needs somebody to talk to, somebody to guide him, somebody to direct him to glory because he's a good kid. He's a good football player. He's talented. He's got everything that you need except the height, okay? We know that. But, and then, of course, the Flores cat, he's a younger coach, so he brings the discipline. We saw what he did in Miami. I mean, he kind of got a raw deal in Miami, right? Didn't get a fair shake. He's a defensive guy because he's a Belichick guy, right? And so I'm good with either one of them. I really am. I'm good with either one of them because I feel like they can come in, they can contribute. They all got their strengths, you know what I'm saying? And they all bring something to the table. So I'm pretty cool with either one of them. If it was me, my gut choice, I would really want Frank Reich for the offensive aspect because righteously, we can still hold on to Vance Joseph defensively and be okay. A lot of games we lost last year was because one side wasn't given enough, right? And if we can bring everybody to a 33, 33, 33, you know what I'm saying, type deal, hey, we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, and look, I mean, the reports are coming out from a lot of different sources that Peyton is, and you know, he was with the Saints for what, like 15, 16 years. We talked about the draft compensation last week about how the Saints might want a mid to late first rounder in exchange. I don't know if they're going to get that shit, but that's kind of what they want, quote unquote. Of course, they're setting the bar high so then they can negotiate and try to meet somewhere in the middle. But the point is, Sean Payton has been around the block long enough where he ain't just going to jump into some beat the job. He's really going to take his time with the shit, and if it's the Broncos or the BG, he'll just go back to Fox. He's already got the contract. And with Brian Flores, I think sometimes people forget. Right now, he's a defensive assistant. It's not like he's upgrading from like a DC to a head coach. He's an assistant with the Steelers, so he's interviewing for DC jobs as well, beyond just head coaching jobs. But I like the Frank Reich pick. Mitch, what do you think as far as like with the landscape of where the Cardinals are like with their search in relationship to where some of these other coaches might go?
Yeah, I agree a lot with what JB said. I think one of the things I'm not as big on Brian Flores. I don't like his two offensive coordinator idea that didn't work. that can always get sorted out. But I do agree that most of it are going to work. I think one thing that I made Earl puke on his show almost last week is these are not Arizona picks. They're going to get Bill O'Brien or they're going to get Matt Patricia. That's who they're going to get. Stop having your hopes high. It's going to crush you. I love Dan Quinn. I love Frank Reich. I would rather also have Frank Reich. It's an offensive league now. Defense kind of figured itself out. If you score 33, you have a better chance of winning than if you don't score 33. Like, it's the dumbest thing in the world. It's what a sports analyst would say, and we'd make fun of them for it. But it's the most true thing. The most true thing you could possibly do. So I agree with everything JB said, but sadly, you're going to get Bill O'Brien or Matt Patricia.
Well, Mitchell, you hearken the name of one Bill O'Brien, who's been named the Pats' new OC. So ping-ponging it right back to you. Will Billy O'Brien, the former Texans head coach, and I think he's in Bama for a second, Lord knows he's bouncing around trying to get a paycheck. Does he take Mac Jones to the next level? Does he help old Mac out, Mitch? What do you think?
This is the greatest move ever, because when you mess up in the NFL, there's two things you do. You go to Alabama and you beg Nick Saban for a job, or you go to Bill Belichick and beg Bill Belichick for a job. He did both of those, and he got both of them. Yes, Bill O'Brien is a great offensive coordinator. He's not a good GM. He screwed up the Texans. Everyone will agree with that. He is a great coordinator. Mac Jones is going to a whole new level. I think this is a great move for the Patriots. I love it.
I love it, right? I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? And you add the fact that he's going to be reunited with D-Hop. Because I said this one time before, right, at work. We are going to get rid of D-Hop. I'm telling you it's going to happen, right? Would we love to keep him? Yes. But he's going to cost us too much money. And let's just face it, he's getting a little older, right? You know what I'm saying? He's been injury prone. Like, literally every year he's been here, he's been out. He's missed 4 or 5 games every year, right? So, again, I feel like he's going to go to the Patriots. He's going to be reconnected with Billy O'Brien. So I don't think that was the problem. It was more so the organization, the Texans, that got those guys out of there. J.J. Watts, you know what I'm saying, the Hops, right? And of course, Deshaun Watson. They all wanted out because of the organization, right? So, yeah, it's all setting up for this, right? It's all setting up for this. So, yeah, I think, the Patriots made a good move, man.
Better than old fat Patricia calling plays. Lord knows he doesn't know what the hell he was doing. Hell, he was supposed to be the defensive guy. Oh my God!
He looks like a fucking old with a beard.
Second somebody for right. Oh my God! JB Rages making the circuit. He's once again flirting with retirement or talking about things. JB, it's like a Halloween movie. They just can't kill Michael Myers. So at this point, they'll hop along ride. Do you think it is finally time for the Pack to move on, get some assets, get his assets? What are we doing, Rodgers?
Boom, let Rodgers go. Like, listen, he's look, you want out your walk, right? Just don't follow. Just don't follow the Brett Favre footsteps. What you suggest? Inside the fucking Vikings. Like, go if you go do anything, right? If I'm the Packers, I'm like, look, man, we're gonna get this fool to the one team that I know he wants to go to. The fucking Vegas Raiders, right? Why? Because his guys out there, right? Monte's out there, right? And then of course, I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, that Daniels would love to have him out there. You know what I'm saying? Daniels he's a great offensive coordinator, he's a great offensive mind, but he needs a quarterback like Rodgers, not a motherfucker like Carr, you know what I'm saying, who's gonna blow it. Like, Rodgers ain't gonna blow it, right? So with all that talent that he's got around him, please, he can throw those back shoulder passes, he can throw those deep balls, he can do all that shit, right? And he can be comfortable and he can have the Raiders to where they're gonna be unbearable like Cowboy fans, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not saying I know everybody talking about it, right? For real, fuck shit. Like, let that man go somewhere where I know he wants to go. Let him go. Like, real shit, let him go. He don't want to go to Tennessee. Sorry. Y'all ain't got enough anything 12 to go down.
Yeah, so Rodgers has $59.465 million guaranteed to play 2023 as a part of a 3-year, $158 million contract extension signed in March. It carries a salary cap charge of $31 million for next season. He's on, he always goes on fucking Pat McAfee. This is fucking rant rate about what he wants to do and all these different options. I mean, Mitch, like, Rodgers is Rodgers, but it's like, I still can't help thinking that Rodgers is actually doing shit about it. Like, I think he cares about like if he does well in his coaching situation. I don't know if Rodgers actually gives a shit about winning. And if you are a team like this, is that even who you think he's not? Or do you think he does end up going to the Raiders? Or you can make a case for your fucking
Make a case for your Titans.
So 3 drinks in Mission Rodgers to me is he's a 666.
Yeah, later.
Break up. I don't care. Like, we've talked about this last week. Are you going to be with Rachel or are you not? Care. Choose your team. Like, I'm not even going to make a case for this. That's a lot of money. We don't have wide receivers. You're not going to get it. Now, with the winning case, I will say I have been shocked with how Rodgers has gone along with LaFleur in the running scheme. He has become more running oriented because he believes that is the winning method. Is if you run a little bit more, he still wants to be hero at the end of the game. But at the end of the day, I can't really say he doesn't want to win. Maybe, he's not Tom Brady on a win level, but I do believe that he does. He has learned along the last 3 years with LaFleur saying, give the running back the ball when you need to, because that will help you out at the end of the day.
Minnie, you said something about, you made an analogy, reference to the Halloween movies, right? If this whole Rodgers saga was a Halloween movie, it would be Halloween 3. You guys remember Halloween 3? The weird one that had nothing to do with nothing?
A little bit.
Right, you know what I'm saying? When the people were like watching TV and all of a sudden they just fall out and fucking worms and shit start coming out of their mouth. This would be the Halloween movie that we're talking about because nobody fucking wants to see it, right? Mitch, I totally agree. Right, I made a case for who I thought that he should go to, but I totally agree. Fuck him. Right? Nobody cares, right? We got playoff football going on, right?
If Eddie didn't go with Halloween, I was gonna go with Jason X when Jason's in space, and I was like, yeah, nobody wants Jason in space. That was gonna be fine, but then he's
look, Freddy versus Jason was trash. Man. Like all this is the Rodgers saga. Horrible saga. Fuck him. Right, we'll see where he goes when we find out where he goes.
And finally, gentlemen, speaking of players that people actually give a shit about, they released the NFL honor nominees. But and why from this list?
I mean, I kind of understand. First of all, I ain't even seen the shit, right? I can only imagine what a couple of them are about to do this shit right now. So I can look at this shit. NFL honors, right? Bitch, you got the shit on the screen. Can you put the shit on the screen? You're the stat guy.
I got the screen. I guess that. Yeah.
That'd be my good. But, noticeable names that people have been right. Notable names that people have been right. Of course, our guy, the Dr. Kneecaps himself, Dan Campbell, was not nominated for Coach of the Year. Not that he would win, but he was nominated. Other notable names, Lou, I can never say his last name. Lou Anarumo, the DC for the Bengals, was not nominated as a assistant Coach of the Year. And then other playmakers like Quay Walker, Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd had a really good season for the Jags, Defensive Player of the Year. So different guys like that. So while JB takes a look, Mitch, are there anybody that when you saw this list, like, damn, they didn't even nominate this person or that person? Anybody comes to mind?
Definitely on assistant Coach of the Year, I think that was the big one. I'm currently looking at this right now, and like added up definitely a couple players where I was like, that's really used them. And I would say Saquon Barkley kind of took it up. McCaffrey, I wouldn't agree with. Derrick Henry could have been a player of the year. I think that was probably the biggest one for rookie of the year. It's weird that Purdy's in there. I know he's like 8-0 right now, but he came in late in the year. There's definitely other rookies that could. And everyone knows I got Purdy fever. I'm the most annoying Purdy fan here. I think it's
really you really are. You really are. Right. You really the fuck are. Right. So I mean, to be honest, like I'm gonna quote Shaq. Right. Shaq said something on the NBA the other night. You know what I'm saying? Inside the NBA the other night on TNT. That really makes a lot of sense to me. And it's just me because I played pro football for 10 years of my life. A young man for, I think, the Lakers got traded or something like that, right? And Shaq was like, who? Right? So, so these young people that are making a splash, so talking about people getting shafted, and first of all, I don't, there's too many goddamn coaches in the NFL for me to be like, yeah, so-and-so got fucked over. Right? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is a popularity contest like the Pro Bowl, right? There's so many people in the Pro Bowl that have no business being in the Pro Bowl. There's so many people every year that don't make the Pro Bowl because they don't play for high market teams and so on and so forth, right? It's kind of a joke, to be honest, right? It's just like Mitch said, perfect example, Purdy is up for Rookie of the Year. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I know it's probably 7 more rookies that they could have put in that spot instead of him, but again, he's hot. They're in the playoffs right now. You know what I'm saying? There's a chance that he might win the Super Bowl. Oh, well, if they do that shit, watch out because they're going to be blowing that boy. He ain't going to have no cum left in his nuts because they're going to be sucking him off. They're going to be sucking him off, brother. They're going to be sucking him off. You believe it's already bad now. Right, boy, if you fuck around with the Super Bowl, whew, it's going to be ridiculous. So, yeah. So, again, it needs to be, it's flawed, right? It's flawed. Just like the Pro Bowl is flawed, right? There needs to be some other form of voting, right? I mean, I don't know. You know, the Pro Bowl got 3 different types of voting, right? You got the coaches, you got the players, you got the people, right? How are these honors nominees voted on, right?
Right. Well, look, we got them. We got the nominees. So let's get to them with what your personal picks are and also your predictions of who you think are going to win. Starting with assistant coach of the year, the nominees are Ben Johnson, OC from the Kitties, who turned down the head coaching jobs to come back to the Kitties. The job's not done. I love it, Ben Johnson. D'Amico Ryans, who has been interviewing for head coaching jobs. He's a DC. Mitch, throwing it to you. Who is of this list? Who is your pick from this list? And who do you, even if it's the same person, who do you predict is going to win as well, Mitch?
You guys made so much fun of me for this whole Detroit, me not giving them credit, all of that stuff. I think, given the fact, I don't know what his average is because I don't have that stat in front of me. I didn't look it up. I feel like he's like that offensive coordinator turned a god-awful offense into a 33-point-a-game offense. And the fact that they lost games and he scored 33 points, that ain't your fault. I think he should be given all the credit. I think he should be the winner of this.
I completely agree with Mitch. Ben Johnson, you are a motherfucking mind, buddy. The fact that he got bumped up, right, after, you know what I'm saying, the current or whoever the past office coordinator was, he got bumped up and he's done the greatest things that he's done. Like Mitch said, this motherfucker has literally turned a have-not offense into a have-got offense, right? Hey, D'Amico Ryans, we cannot deny what you've done. And, of course, you know what I'm saying, Stechkin, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I think more so it's a talent thing when it comes to Stechkin, right? But you have to put players in position to be successful. But you got all the right players, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even at quarterback, right? When you idiots out there that's still doubting that kid, like that kid's a fucking gamer, man. But, yeah, Ben Johnson, hey, coach, assistant coach of the year, easy.
Yeah, my pick is Ben Johnson. I think he is going to win it too because like you both kind of illustrated what he kind of was able to position really early, moving from position coach to OC, and then creating such a big jump in just one season. So I think D'Amico Ryans, hell of a year. He'll probably get a head coaching gig somewhere, but I think Ben Johnson gets. I think he's my pick, and I think he's also going to win as well. All right, Mitch, you were talking about comeback player of the year, so it is Saquon. Oh, go ahead, Mitch.
Oh, I will say that I think DeMeco Ryans wins, but I do think the Lions OC.
What about DeMeco Ryans?
He said he think DeMeco Ryans is going to win.
So comeback player of the year, Saquon comes back. Okay, right. Okay, so Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, really turned it up once he got to the Birdgang, and of course, old Gene had years, but it was a great story. So, Mitch, who is your comeback player of the year pick? Who?
It's so hard. I don't know if he can technically be a comeback player because he was never injured. He was just a backup. But it's hard for me not to choose Geno Smith at the end of the day. Like, the dude led the Seahawks to the playoffs, and none of us saw that coming. So I don't think he should win it. I think Saquon should win it, but it's hard for me not to vote for Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno did great things, man. That shit was beautiful to watch him, come back and just handle his business. But at the same time, Saquon handled adversity from an injury, which, Geno was just being a dumbass and not playing up his potential, right? So, of course, Saquon is going to get the W in this one, right? Christian McCaffrey, man, of course, you're a baller, but at the same time, if you're a baller, you're going to ball anywhere, right? And there's no reason why you couldn't be doing the same thing you were doing in Carolina that you're doing in San Francisco. Oh, I know why, right? Because they're making everything so easy for you over there, right? That's what Shanahan does. But yeah, Saquon Barkley, welcome back. Great job.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, my personal pick would be Geno because I think he did more at the position that he was in. But we all know, Saquon Barkley's injury and like what he was able to do coming back. So my pick would be Geno, but my prediction is it's going to be Saquon, and I think
Benny
odds on that.
And Benny. Of course, Saquon is one of the NFL's guys, right? So of course he's going to win.
Yeah, there you go. And if looking at the Vegas odds, it is plus 175 for Saquon, plus 175 for Geno, and plus 250 for Christian McCaffrey. So there you go. It's about even for those two. All right. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Old Sauce Gardner from the Jets. Aiden Hutchinson from the Kitties. And
he's back.
He's back, baby. Yeah. DJ Screw is back. Look, okay, so I don't know who you passed it to because you broke up like crazy. But so based on the difficulty of the position, right, we got two cornerbacks, right? Aiden Hutchinson had a hell of a fucking year. Don't get me wrong. But cornerback is a harder position to play than defensive end in the NFL. I don't care what nobody says, right? I have to go with Sauce Gardner, right? This kid held his own, right? Now, don't get me wrong, this Woolen kid did his thing as well because interception-wise, I think he probably had more interceptions than Sauce. But Sauce literally got the tough job every game. They put Sauce on the best receiver on the field every game, right? And he held them to a minimum. So I think Sauce Gardner gets this one. Again, shout out to every one of them because you're talking about this is a stacked nominee group. Yeah, I'm gonna take Sauce in this one.
Okay, Mitch, I was passing it to you, but go ahead.
Thank you. I think Aiden Hutchinson's stats are better, and I'm a stat guy. That being said, I have this argument every single day at work, and I will stick by this argument. Sauce Gardner deserves this 100%. The dude was a quarterback against Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson, and he has held them to minimal freaking yardage. He held them to a minimal QBR. Like, his job is not for stats. It is to make sure they don't catch that ball, and if they do, it's for minimal yardage. And he did more than his job against top wide receivers. I think, Aiden Hutchinson did a great job. A lot of his interceptions came against Aaron Rodgers, which is great rivalry matchups. But Sauce Gardner had a tougher job this season than Aiden Hutchinson. I want Sauce Gardner to get it.
So I agree with that. And I actually spent like the first quarter to like the half of the season thinking that like Aiden wasn't even going to be considered for the award. And then there was a turning point there when their defense kind of got into gear where he really started turning it up. And he was one of the highest producers in the league when you talk about like tackles, sacks, tackles for loss, and then of course he got his picks. You make very great arguments for Sauce, but I am going to go homer pick and take Aiden, and my prediction is because of based on the accumulation of different defensive stats that they are to Aiden, but I would completely understand why people would be standing on the table and be like, give it to Sauce because of the assignment and what he needed to do. So I do think Aiden is going to get it because he lived up to top billing based on where he was picked. But again, there goes kind of the PR machine that JB was referring to and the kind of popularity contest of it. But I completely understand the argument for Sauce. So there you go. All right, JB, I'm throwing this one to you because apparently Mitch is going to get his fourth drink of the night. For the and your prediction for offensive rookie of the year.
Well, it ain't goddamn Brock Purdy, I can tell you that. Okay, I'm really gonna go with I'm gonna go with Garrett Wilson. Right, this kid was dynamic. Right, put the ball in his hands. He does great things. Point blank. Period. I don't know his stats, Mitch. You could probably pull that up and throw it on the chat so we can see it. But this kid has been a baller all year. He remained healthy. He's durable. Right, he's dependable. Right, so I'm gonna roll with that kid from the Jets.
Okay, Mitch.
Mitch.
Sorry. I was looking at Garrett Wilson's stats. Garrett Wilson in his rookie season had 83 catches, 1,103 yards, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, so very good.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. That being said, Brock Purdy for sure. No, it's definitely Garrett Wilson. I think Chris Olave should have been in there instead of Brock Purdy personally, but Garrett Wilson definitely had the best season for rookie of this list.
Yeah, my pick is Garrett Wilson. My prediction is going to be Purdy fever. Is it me or does this category feel like it's missing a nominee or two? Like I feel like it's
I was about to say they probably should have 5 nominees in this one. That kid from Green Bay who couldn't catch a fucking cold in the beginning of the season, who came on and caught like 9 touchdowns in like 4 games, right? What's his name, Larson or something? What's it?
Christian Watson, I think.
No, it's like Larson or some shit like that, right? And his last name Larson.
Isn't it Christian Watson, the kid from North Dakota State?
Yeah, Watson.
The tall, light-skinned kid?
Yeah.
So
Watson,
this kid should be in this category, bro. Like, he came on like gangbusters, like, and then he kind of fizzled out. But that 8-game stretch where he was just killing everything, okay, you got Purdy in this motherfucker. This kid started all goddamn year. Like, put the kid in nominee. Fuck that. Fuck Purdy, man.
Right. All right. Offensive player of the year.
Bitch.
Oh, he's cutting promos. All right, Mitch, he's cutting promos off the top rope. Offensive player of the year: Tyreek Hill from the Dolphins, Jalen Hurts from the Eagles, Justin Jefferson from the Vikings, and old Patty Mahomes from the Chiefs. Mitch, your pick and your prediction for the year, sir.
This is both hard and easy at the same time because I'm trying to figure out who they're going to pick. To me, Tyreek Hill. He clearly made that Miami offense way better compared to last year. Like, everything was more spread out, worked out perfectly for them. I know it didn't end as well, but 2 concussions and like 5 missing games from your starting quarterback. What can you do?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to say offensive player of the year typically goes to a wide receiver because we feel god-awful because quarterback's always the MVP. I think the choice, though, ends up being Justin Jefferson. I think he ends up winning the award.
Ooh.
So let me break it down as to why nobody but Jalen Hurts is going to win this shit, right? Tyreek Hill is great, but with backup quarterbacks, he still couldn't keep that offense rolling for them to win games, right? Patrick Mahomes is great, one of the greatest talents we've seen behind center in a long time, and probably will see in a long time. But when he went out of the game, what's his name? Hinkle? What's the kid's name? His backup? Heineke is that his backup? Heineke, All right. Heineke went in and just held it down. Right. So that kind of tells you that system is tailor-made to succeed. Okay. Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you're right. But he got shut down. We just talked about this shit. Sauce Gardner did it to him. He got shut down for real in one game. And he just kind of completely disappeared. I forget. It was recent, the last 3 games. Jalen Hurts went out for 2 games. Did they win or lose? Say it, Mitch.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to look up the back catch.
Jalen Hurts went out for 2 games, Mitch. Did they win or lose?
Oh, they definitely lost.
They lost 2 games with the Mississippi Mustache. Jalen Hurts is clearly the offensive player of the year. He's made every throw, made it correctly. He's made every decision, made it correctly. He's the reason why this damn thing rolls the way it rolls. It's a machine, don't get me wrong, but it's a talented machine, and it needs its biggest cog, pause, and that's Jalen Hurts.
I will say, with your Tyreek Hill argument, with, not winning the game, blah, 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 with Matt Moore at quarterback during one of the games, Tyreek Hill did go for 150 yards, and that's pretty damn impressive for a wide receiver.
Matt Moore still playing
another game.
Matt Moore? What the hell?
What the fuck are you talking about? Matt Moore?
That's the wrong year.
Matt Moore ain't played football.
Mitch, I'm going to kick you off of this stream. Matt Moore? Jesus Christ.
He's the Chiefs backup. My bad. That was the previous year. I'm reading articles, not paying attention.
God, you're fired. You're fired.
This is why the JV and Benny Blue video is so great, right? Because you get clean, you get organic content.
All right.
What?
I'm giving my answer because I'm not going to allow Mitch to go any further in the archive. So if Justin Jefferson had a better friggin' quarterback, he would actually be really in contention for this. But my pick and my prediction is Jalen Hurts. And JB, here's another element for you is why I think Jalen Hurts is going to get this award.
Drop it.
Because I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to get MVP.
Oh.
I don't think he's going to win MVP. So my theory is they're going to give Jalen Hurts Offensive Player of the Year as that. You know how they do it in the Oscars where they know someone should be getting their just due, but they're not going to give him Best Actor.
The compensatory
award or some bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. This is what my fucking Benny's gets this award.
But listen,
he's back.
Manny, I'm with you, brother. I'm all the way with you, dog. Let's do it. Next category, goddammit.
All right. Next category. Defensive Player of the Year, Mitchell. It's MAGA Nick Bosa. He was there on January 6th. There's video footage to prove it. Chris Jones with the Chiefs, for real, and Micah Parsons with the Cowboys. Another category that I think is missing another player or two. But Mitch, who's your pick and who's your prediction for Defensive Player of the Year?
This is crazy because I feel like these are the media angels. All of them. This never happens in the category where all 3 media angels go up against each other. I'm going to go with Micah Parsons wins this one. I think they want Nick Bosa a little bit more. I think he ends up winning. But all of these I'm cool with. I have no issue with any of them winning. I'm assuming the media votes for Nick Bosa, though.
Fuck Nick Bosa. Fuck Joey Bosa, right? And that's coming from me, straight out from JB's mouth. Chris Jones, Michael Parsons, yeah. But I also think that our guy Warner from San Francisco should be in this fucking category. That motherfucker has been lights out all year, right? This is the greatest season he's had as a professional football player. Again, D'Amico Ryans being a linebacker, I know it between him and Greenlaw, you know what I'm saying? Between the one and Greenlaw, man, it's just something about those linebacker duos in San Francisco, right? So I think that Warner should have been in this category, and there's a couple other cats, you know what I'm saying, that haven't had hellified seasons, right? To be honest, but Michael Parsons wins this one easy, man.
Yeah, I mean, my pick and my prediction is Micah Parsons, though I would not.
And that's my prediction.
Some bullshit, and they do give it to Nick Bosa. Right. So okay. So Micah Micah for both. I'm saying Micah to you, good sir. It's head coach of the year. It's Brian Dable from the G-Men, Sean McDermott from Mafia, old Dougie P from the Duval Jaguars, Kyle Shanahan from the Niner Gang, and Nick Sirianni from the EAGLES Eagles. Bling, bling. And JB, who is your pick and prediction for head coach of the year, good sir?
Brian Daboll, easy, bro. Brian Daboll, easy, man. You know what I'm saying? So McDermott, you know what I'm saying, has been having success. Dougie P came on too late. Shanahan, fuck him, right? And then like Nick Sirianni, we kind of saw what was coming last year, right? So being that Daboll came out of left field with it, you know what I'm saying? RKO out of nowhere, right? And that's our guy Daboll. So yeah, I'm going with Brian Daboll prediction, and I think he's the one going to win it straight up.
Okay, Mitch, what you got?
I have a fun stat for you guys. So my choice is Brian Dable, a lot for this reason. Brian Dable was also obviously the coach for Josh Allen and Daniel Jones. Josh Allen, when he was the coach for Josh Allen, had an MVP-like season 2021. Goes to Daniel Jones, who had an NFL-leading 65 interceptions and fumbles prior to 22. Allen led the league in NFL in turnovers this year. Jones only had 5 interceptions. Brian Dable, like, the dude's obviously got something with these quarterbacks, which is the thing. Kyle Shanahan, I wouldn't be angry about. Sean McDermott, I'd be a little bit more angry about that. I know media wants him to win. Sorry, Sean McDermott, I do like you. But Brian Dable, man. Brian Dable should be the winner by far.
So is that your pick and prediction?
Yeah, that's the appropriate sound effect I made there.
You start growling? What the fuck?
Yeah, I did. I really want to think media wants Sean McDermott to win, but I think Brian, you know what? I'm going both. Brian Dable wins both.
Why? Let me ask you a question, Mitch, real quick. Why would you think that the media wants Sean McDermott to win when Sean McDermott has been to the AFC Championship twice?
Because he's the Bills coach, and the media wants everything to do with the Bills and Josh Allen and and Stephon Diggs and all that. And I think it's just a full package deal. You
ain't see what they just thought, what they said about DeMar Hamlin? They thought he was a clone or some shit. You saw that?
No, I did not see that. Really.
People dumb.
God,
oh yeah, no, they're super dumb. Like I guess, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nah, go ahead.
All right. So I like the Dayball case because he's turning water into wine with fucking old Danny Dimes there. But I'm making it real simple. I think my pick and my prediction is Nick Sirianni. I mean, look at what the Eagles are doing, going gangbusters, kind of under the radar. So I think it's Nick Sirianni's my prediction and my pick. He's minus 175. Kyle Shanahan's plus 275. Dougie P's plus 800. And Brian Dable's plus 1,400 for Coach of the Year. And finally, Dr. Bridges.
Hold on, Benny. Did you say Brian Daboll is plus 1,800?
Player. It is Mafia. Yeah, it's plus 1,400. Plus 1,400.
Yeah,
MVP, Josh Allen, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, and Patty Mahomes. JB, your pick and your prediction for MVP of the foosball season, good sir.
My pick is going to be Joe Burrow. My prediction is going to be Jalen Hurts. And it should be both.
Okay.
With the second guy. Be honest, right? We saw why, right? You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts went out 2 games, they lost 2 games, right? Came back in and they started doing great things, right? It's what it is. So Joe Burrow balling from the moment he touched down in Cincy. Jalen Hurts ain't have the same road. This season is Jalen Hurts' season. He should win it, but I feel like they're gonna give it to Joe Burrow.
Okay, Mitch.
So the reason why, obviously, I chose was because the MVP is a QB category. Sorry, Jefferson, you're out. So I think this is going to be one of those weird years with the NBA where, like, Kobe should have won MVP every year because at the end of the year, he was the most valuable player. That's who sold the most jerseys, all that stuff. I think my pick would be Patrick Mahomes. I think he's worth the most, but I think the correct pick is Jalen Hurts, and I think they actually get it right this year, which is why I did not put him as Offensive Player of the Year.
All right. Well, I'm going I'm going Joe Burrow for both. I mean, you can definitely talk me into Jalen Hurts. Don't get me wrong, but listen, man. At this point, if we were sitting there in the barbershop or at the lunch table, and we were having a debate about who really is the best in the league right now, and if you really stood on the table for Joe Burrow, that would be hard to argue, man. That dude is a fucking gunslinger, and he may very well lead them back to the Super Bowl. So my pick is Burrow. My prediction is Burrow. But if Hurts wins it, I won't be surprised. I don't think Patty Mahomes deserves it. It is a QB award. So sorry, Justin Jefferson and fucking Josh. I won't be surprised if it's either Burrow taking Burrow for both. And that's it for some NFL honors. We are burning the midnight oil, so we're going to jump right into some quick divisional recap.
Let's get it.
JB, speaking of Jalen Hurts, the EAGLES Eagles fly over the G-Man. You see what I did there, 38-7. And Hurts, coming back from a little banged up, goes 16 for 24, 154 and 2 TDs. JB, what did you see from the Eagles crushing the G-Man in this one off the bye?
I saw the MVP of the league doing what the MVP does, all right?
Simple and plain. Drop the mic.
I took a sip of my Corona. That's what it was.
Right. Mitch, what'd you see from this matchup? Clearly no rust from the Eagles. I mean, are they gearing up for the Niner gang to come in the link or what?
I saw the Giants pull what the Giants do, and that's just New York. New York, you're going to New York every single time, and it's going to be great. We love it.
Hey! That was a attack on my Yankees, bro. Stop, bro. Like we're not even gonna do that. Like talk about the Giants, bro. Like not about New York. Talk about the Giants, right?
I wasn't even thinking Yankees. That's the funny thing.
You just said New York or New York, so when you said New York, I think Yankees.
I was thinking Nets. That's freaking hilarious. I didn't even think of that.
Okay, all right.
I didn't think of that. No, I saw the Eagles clearly overtake the Giants. The Giants get wide-eyed and scared. And I saw the Eagles win the game. That's kind of what I saw.
So, Benny, just to kind of low-key elaborate what you were asking, the Eagles are a more complete team than the San Francisco 49ers, period, right? And they're going to show it when they play.
Yep. All right, we'll talk about when we make our picks. All right, the Chiefs Kingdom, they edged the Jags 27-20, but Mahomes steps out of the game for that second with a high ankle sprain. He has been practicing. Mitchell, are you concerned about Patty Mahomes and that pesky high ankle sprain, which can oftentimes be a much more serious injury than it lets on, particularly for his mobility?
No, because really, at the end of the day, Mahomes is good for that one. And I don't remember what team called it. I wish I remembered who did. When they called it the old man scramble, where he kind of just walks for 3 yards and then he goes and kind of runs for 5 yards and gets that first down. I wish I remembered what team it was. I loved it though.
Whatever team Tom Brady was on.
But yeah, they call it the old man scramble. That's he's good for one of those that might give him an extra possession at the end of the day. But I think he's fine. He relies on his arm more than he runs. This is not a mobile quarterback. He's sneaky mobile, but he's not mobile.
Okay, JP, what you think?
Patty Mahomes getting hurt is a little more serious than we think. Right, and everybody's kind of downplaying, like in the media. Now I can tell Mitch has been watching ESPN a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's trying to downplay it. But understand this, right? Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals and old Coach Taylor got their number. That's the problem, right? And with Patty Mahomes even having a flaw in his game, right? You say he depends on his arm. Well, his arm comes from his legs. If you understand a little more about football and biomechanics of throwing, right? Even when he's throwing those sidearm passes, he has to have his legs intact, grounded to throw them. So with that bum ankle, and I done had bum ankles, trust me when I say I played with 2 high ankle sprains my first year on the field in college. That shit sucked. Think about this. Imagine pushing a Ford F-150 with its brakes on with 2 high ankle sprains. That's basically what I had going on my first year in college, right? So Patrick Mahomes having to drop back, having to possibly dodge a defender, right? Having to possibly scramble right, or God forbid he got to turn around and go left. Like, come on, man. They're putting this kid, he's basically in a phone booth right now. He's halfway in cement. And as good as the defense of the Cincinnati Bengals are playing, I feel like it's going to be another victory. Hey, I'm already, you can kind of see where I'm leaning when it comes to the predictions for the championship.
And yes, Mitch, JB was calling it his opponent. It's in the trenches. Exactly what he was.
What happened?
They were fatties. He's pushing around fatties with the bum ankle. That's what he was doing.
Look, let me tell you something.
Check the chat. Oh my God.
They're big in there, man.
All right. Now, Mitch, the Bengals, they beat the Mafia 27-10 in the snowy Buffalo game. We talked about Sean McDermott. JB kind of referenced how they keep getting back to the same place, but they can't advance. So, Mitch, where does the Mafia go from here? I mean, what do they need to do to get over the hump? You talked about it being an offensive head coach league. So, clearly something isn't working. They don't really do anything particularly well with any unit. They just have, like, different good key players. So, in your opinion, Mitch, what did the Bills kind of do to advance this thing?
Get an all-star all-star running back. They already have a wide receiver. Get an all-star running back that will lead you through this god-awful wintry season. Slow it down a little bit. I'm not saying Titans full receiver where you go and run the ball 462 times in a game. But, slow it down a little bit. Get your all-star running back in there. And then go and take advantage of this stuff. You live in a snowy environment. You cannot go and pass the ball during playoff time when you have home field advantage. The one time Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl, he was away the entire freaking time. He did not win the Super Bowl through replay.
Good point, JB.
Yeah.
I love getting
So look, that was a great point. Right. For whatever reason, the Buffalo Bills are lacking in the front five department. Right. They got Allen. We talked last week about Allen's reckless abandon. Right.
We did.
You can't play football like that and expect to be successful your whole career. It's going to be okay sometimes, but it's going to end up burning you in the long run. Right. What we saw this game was we saw that Josh Allen does not have the quarterback IQ that the motherfucking ESPN gives him. He got confused a lot, right? And he couldn't get the ball to Diggs. But mind you, Diggs had somebody shadowing his ass when Diggs was throwing his hands up. There was always somebody there just kind of waiting for Allen to throw that ball to him. But at the same time, he didn't know whether he wanted to run, dump it off, or throw it to the next option, or he didn't know what was going. He was confused, right? And add the pressure to it. Yeah, Cincinnati. Shout out to the defensive coordinator because he really put together a plan to rattle this cat, right? So they got to figure out one, protection. That's one. Second of all, they got to figure out how to run the rock for real, right? So they can be good in the playoffs, right?
There it is. All right, and finally, you
did.
It's an agreement in the comments. Oh, the time has come. ESPN building them up. The Niner gang stalled the Cowboys 19-12, and JB, well, is it time for Dallas to move on from Dak? Ooh.
No, right? So here's the thing, right? We talk about quarterbacks, right? You got to put this man in a position to be successful. For whatever reason, they're depending on Dak to do too much, throw the ball down the field too much, right? They're not encouraging Dak to run enough, right? Like, Dak is a talented quarterback. But here's a fact that I found very intriguing. 0-2, right, in divisional games. Right? Tony Romo was the same thing. Right? So it was 0-2, you know what I'm saying? So either way it goes, him and Tony Romo had the exact same stats. Right? But Cowboy fans love Tony Romo. Right? They love Tony Romo. But two different coordinators. So what they need to figure out is how to make Dak more successful by helping him do the things that he does well, right? Can he throw the ball? Yes, he can. Can he run the ball? He ain't the fastest motherfucker in the world, but he can get out of the field, right? Offensive line-wise, they need to beef it up. And defense is good enough to give him the ball back. Nah, don't move off from Dak. Understand, you went against a top-tier defense, man, right? You went against a top-tier defense. And 12 points is all you scored, true. But at the same time, they were doing the motherfuckers all year, right? And you had some misfortune, some drop balls, some misreads. It was all kind of shit going on there, right? But look at the positives. A dusty-ass motherfucking, what's my guy's name that plays, he played right tackle, he's played left tackle, right? He basically destroyed Bosa, right? Let's be completely honest. He just did him in dirty, right? They got some things going, right? McCarthy, he's not a bad head coach, never has been a bad head coach. He just needs to get rid of that silly-ass offensive coordinator he got. Period.
There it is. Mitch, what do you think?
No, don't move on from Dak. Love what JB said. I thought he was going to go the opposite way. Scared me there for a minute. I thought we were going to break our record. But I like what Dak does at the end of the day. Like, is he going to be – like, he's at that 10 to 12 range for quarterbacks. You can't get rid of a quarterback that's 10 to 12. You need to keep building around him, and then you need to make the best team possible, get the best people around him, because a 10 to 12 quarterback can win. He needs a little bit more help than, a 1 to 5 quarterback. But you're not going to get that 1 to 5 quarterback. The 10 to 12 quarterback's going to keep you from getting the 1 to 5 quarterback. So you got to work with that dude so you can go win. At the end of the day, Dak can win.
One thing you got to realize, is there's nothing else out there better than him.
That too.
Right?
You go for 12, you got to go to 5.
Right. So who are you going to replace him with? Right? They talk about moving on. Who are you going to replace him with? Right? And that's not settling. Like Mitch said, build around this motherfucker. Right? If you look at his QBR for playoff games, about 60% of that is 100 plus. What more do you want from a quarterback? What more do you want? 100 plus QBR rating, you know what I'm saying, in playoff games. What more do you want? So 60% of that, yeah.
Right. There it is. And finally, wrapping up, gentlemen, before we get into our savage picks for championship weekend, in a round of picks, play the drum roll, please. Dr. Bridges is at 165, 111 and 2, and yours truly is at 176, 101 and 2. But JB got all of his picks right. Chiefs, Eagles, Bengals, and Niner gang. I picked the Bills in that game. There it is. JB was 100% for the week. So let's get into it right now with some motherfucking savage picks for championship weekend. And starting us off, JB, the link is going to be rocking. It's the EAGLES Eagles going to Niner gang. And the line is 2.5 for the Eagles at home, Dr. Bridges. What you got?
Eagles, more complete team. It's hard to play in Lincoln Financial Field. They don't have the offensive weapons. They don't have the quarterback behind center to beat the Eagles at home, period.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles as well. Mitchell, you are not only taking the Niners, you are taking the money line. And Mitchell's money-making playoff pick of the week, he's taking the Niners over the Eagles. And he is 2-0 so far in the playoffs, currently picking the Chiefs money line over the Jags. Mitch, why are the Niners going to upset the Eagles in Philly?
So, the reason why is the running game. I talked about it earlier with Buffalo. They need a better running game. That's going to be how they win. I know Jalen Hurts himself is the running game. I think San Francisco can slow that down a lot. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be the better running game in this game.
Mitch, hold on. I ain't mean to just no disrespect to interrupt. You just said Jalen Hurts is the running game?
He will be the running. I'm not saying he is. He will be. I think he will be the running game.
Okay. All right. I was trying to make sure I got clarification because I didn't understand what you just said. You said he's a running game. What?
No, I'm not calling him Lamar Jackson of Baltimore. I think what ends up happening is the 49ers stop the running game really well. I think they lower it. I think Hurts ends up having the most rushing yards out of every player on there. And I think that ends up hurting them at the end of the day. I think 49ers are able to stick with the game plan. I think they trust their coach a little. Maybe they don't trust their coach enough. But at the end of the day, I think the 49ers coach is a little bit better. I think they squeak it out. I think it's going to be one of those horrible, once again, 19-16, 19-13, 22-16 games.
Hey, JB, you know what Mitch conveniently didn't mention? Because since he's been so sick and down bad, party fever. I didn't hear anything about party fever.
I said it though, Benny. I said it though. What I say? They don't have the talent behind center to beat the Eagles, right? He gonna throw 2 picks this game. He gonna throw 2 picks this game.
Oh my God! All right,
pretty picks.
Take Purdy picks. We're taking it to the AFC. JB, it's the Chiefs' kingdom hosting the Bengals, and the line is in favor of Cincy by a point on the road. JB, who you got?
Joe Burrow said it. He don't ever feel like the underdog, right? Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be all of these people on game day, right? Okay, all they got to do is contain 95. That's it. All they got to do is make sure they account for 95 at all times, and they're going to beat the shit out of the Chiefs, right? I think Mahomes' ankle is going to be a problem. Late in the midway through the third quarter, we're going to start to see him do some bad shit because he's trying to force shit, and he don't have the pressure on both legs to do it. I'm telling you, since he got them boys' number, and it is what it is, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, both will be out here in the desert, my desert, right? Playing in the Super Bowl, all right, in State Farm Stadium.
There it is. I'm taking the Bengals as well. And even though we've let this young man have it at times in the past, I'm calling this as an Eli Apple bulletin board game. That's right. Eli Apple bulletin board alert coming. He's going to pick off Patty Mahomes when you least expect it. And Joe Shiesty does get all his guys involved. Throw him. And the Chiefs' defense just letting down, not being able to keep up the firepower. So
Benny,
the Bengals.
Benny,
Mitchell, who you got in this one, good sir?
Benny, hold on. That would be the stankiest Shawshank redemption ever, bro. Like, for Eli Apple to catch one and go yard, bro. Oh, my God. That would be so stank, dog. But it's going to – I can see it
Andy Dufresne, baby.
I can see it happening.
All right, Mitch.
I think the narrative that sorry if you're talking, you're kind of breaking up there. I think the narrative that Joe Burrow has Patrick Mahomes' number is stupid because it's the defense more than anything. That being said, I think Cincinnati wins again. Not using the ankle as the whole thing. I think Cincinnati's defense is just going to mess with Patrick Mahomes. They've done it the entire time. It has nothing to do with Joe Burrow. Has to do with that defense. So,
Mitch, we didn't say Joe Burrow has Patrick Mahomes' number. We said Cincinnati.
No, I'm talking about the national narrative.
I got you.
Joe Burrow has Mahomes' number.
Give the man some credit.
Well, I got you. I don't really watch ESPN, so I don't know about this shit.
But I got Cincinnati.
All right, there it is. We'll see who was right, who was wrong, who was both right, who was both wrong. And Dr. Bridges, take us home, good sir, with a little "We Need Us," baby. What you got for the people?
Leave Aretha Franklin the fuck alone, all right? The song was made in 19... Bruh.
Yeah, what's going on with her?
Have you not heard what they doing to Aretha Franklin?
No.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
The song Natural Woman, the trans community is attacking Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, I saw this. All right.
Come on, bro. I'm just saying, leave the woman alone. Live y'all's life how y'all want to live y'all's life, but leave Aretha Franklin's dead ass alone. Right? You know what I'm saying? The song was made in 1968. Right? Chill. Okay, aside from that, you know what I'm saying? You know how we do this here. You know what I'm saying? We are stronger here. Right. We are here. Point blank period. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You're watching the JB Review episode 247. All right? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Money Making Mitch. You know what I'm saying? He's in this thing. All social media platforms at JB and Benny Blue. You know how we do. You know what I'm saying? TikTok it up. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot more content coming. Trust and believe. All right? Outside of that, man, hit us up on our personal Instagrams at 73KingJB73, and of course at Benny Blue Eyes. Mitch, what the hell is your Instagram? You got Instagram. I saw some like ducks and shit on that bitch. Like,
what are you talking about? It's Triple M like 1993 or I don't know. It's
okay. Oh my god.
don't hit Mitch up on his Instagram, okay?
I will not answer.
CasualSports.com is where you can hear this podcast in the Valley all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our guys, Ed, Earl, you know what I'm saying? All them cats, you know what I'm saying? Sean, wake up, you know what I'm saying? We love to hear from you, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you still want to hear our podcast in podcast form, $1 patreon.com/JVandBennyBlue. That's all you need, right? That one hot fucking dollar, right? Sponsorship interviews, new music, hate mail, JVandBennyReview@gmail.com. Get with us. We get back. Point blank, period. Episode 247. We here. Shout out to Valley Boys Association. Shout out to It's Tim to Buy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, another successful podcast. You guys enjoy this weekend of football.
Yes, right? Indeed.
Hey, you listen to the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Let us know what you think. Of course, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate all the love. Episode 247, man. We out.
We out. We'll see you next week. Enjoy that foosball, baby, and be safe. We are out, baby. Peace.